voices rise up, but the truth feels all wrong. They've taken the harvest while we're plowing the fields. Blind to the game and the cards that they deal. Hearts beat loud, but the noise fills the air. Caught in a battle with nobody there. Shut up and think. Can't you see what's real? We're fighting each other, but not to the steel. Shut up and think, without all your pride. We got more in common than the lines we divide.
Oh shit, guys. I am doing it on my own at like 11 o'clock at night without Justin. So this is the first time. So I can't blame Justin for any screw ups tonight. So thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in, if you're not, that's okay. It's late. I didn't expect anybody to tune in. We just wanted to start doing this, what? Bob's Puppet? I don't even know who that. BB's Puppet. Oh, yes. I'm trying to respond to messages on here. Anyway, I didn't expect. I'm tired as shit, and I wasn't expecting anybody to be on here. So I got two watching. So that makes me pretty happy. Hey, it don't matter. If I got zero, I'll keep going, but I appreciate everybody on here. Anyway, guys, yeah, I've had a couple people comment to me, man. My buddy Parker tonight even said to me, how you turned on Trump. And I just wanted to take, I don't want people to think a certain, listen, I want my president, no matter what you've heard what I said in these other things. I don't think any party is for me or for you. I don't think party lines are pretty stupid. And you have liberals, you have your conservatives. I'm more conservative than I am liberal. But as far as people are concerned, I don't think liberals are out trying to hurt anyone. I honestly think that they're trying to be nice and accommodating, but this divide that we have between Democrat and Republican, which I was part of the problem. I was, man, Trump. You guys all know that. And thank goodness for Joe Biden, because he woke me up to the propaganda and all the games that are played, that's being played now. You couldn't tell me, oh, Joe Biden's fine. Am I really loud? But anyway, you can't tell me, Joe Biden's, he was fine. Everything was good. Dude, I saw it with my own eyes. And I can't have somebody's back who's lying to me, making me think he's serving me, but he's not, or they are not. And I will shout out for Trump when he does good. I'd shout out for Biden when he did good. I'll shout out for anybody. I want my president to do good. Unfortunately, I don't think any president from here on out or in my lifetime has actually looked out for the American people since John F. Kennedy. So I think them days are over. But I do owe an explanation. I get it. Why people who know me in my personal life and know me, like my buddy Parker, Gary, Sam, these guys that you've seen on here before, my kids know. But I'll give you an example. If I seem discombobulated tonight, it's because I'm running everything. I don't have no one in the booth, so I'm staring at two different screens and trying to look at the camera. So Never mind where I'm looking. But I'll give you what's going on. All right, I'll shout out to Trump. Hey, you did a good job the other day on the psychedelics for addicts of opioids. I don't know if you heard, but he passed the thing that it's no longer illegal for opioid addicts to seek the psychedelic treatments. It's no longer illegal for doctors to pursue those and work on them. And hey, that's great. That's great for military people. That's great with people with PTSD or anxiety like me or depression or that's great. Good job, Trump. But you can't pull away. That doesn't cover up the bad that you're doing. I'll say good job on that. But really with everything else, and I'm going to go over it, it don't make up for what you're doing at the present time. And I think you involved Joe Rogan, and props to Joe Rogan for, hey, he's out to help people. He don't care what. I guarantee if Kamala Harris had been elected and she said, okay, let's get this done, Joe Rogan would have been there no matter who was sitting in that seat in the Oval Office. I guarantee that because he cares about people. All right, and that's what I want our president to do. Mr. Trump, here's my problem. Guys, here's my problem with President Trump. I didn't make these promises. These are promises that were broken. First, I'll start with what he kept. He closed the border. Fantastic job. Good job. I don't want anybody coming in our southern or northern border that could be a threat to my country. So good job. We need to vet people as they're coming in. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is that there's families that have been here for years, and instead of getting the criminals like we were told you were going to get out first, you're going to hardworking people that help the economy, and you're shipping them out and treating them like awful criminals. I understand they're illegal aliens. I understand that they didn't follow the law. I get it. But that process is so long. You think about this, folks. We can get everybody's taxes done in a couple months. But these people that are seeking asylum or seeking to move into this country, it takes years upon years and money. And quite honestly, the immigrants that come here and get their green card and stuff, they know more about American history than probably you do. So they go through the test. But my problem is you can't take a guy that's working and has kids and his wife, and you round them up like they've murdered people or dealing drugs out on our street and kick them out of the country when you got hundreds of thousands of criminals that are illegal immigrants that don't give anything back to society or the United States. I have a problem with that. All right. But you did close the border. Kudos. Now I'm going to start on promises broken. And this goes to you all. I was MAGA, man. I don't know anybody who was more MAGA than me. No one. But I was. All right. And I opened my eyes and I looked at what was going on and what has gone on in the past. And I saw it was the same shit. And it's the same shit going on right now. I didn't make the promise, Donald Trump, that I was going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. We're at midterms. We're about at midterms. That's halfway through your term. Ain't done. Energy prices. I'm not the one who told everybody I was going to be the one that brought down the energy prices. And that has to do with another thing that you're doing. And I'm going to explain that to people. Job and economies, the economy, lowering everyday cost. That hasn't happened. The national debt, you brought it up. Healthcare, you talked about you're not propping up anything. You're talking about getting rid of stuff, and I'll bring that up here in a minute. What about deportations? I already talked about that I didn't like. Cap on credit card interest rates. What's going on with that, man? Stalled? Now, these are all things about our country. Everything I'm talking about right now. Birthright citizenship, executive order. What happened with that? Closing the Department of Education. What happened with that? That stalled. Eliminating the federal income tax. Using tariffs. You find that tariffs are really taxes and it eats us up anyway. That stalled. Pre-intro fertilization. That stalled. Replacing Obamacare. That's done. You haven't brought nothing else. Now we'll get to the big Epstein files. You ran on it. There is nothing worse than a fucking pedophile. There ain't nothing worse than somebody who would hurt our most precious asset, children. And you're doing it. I'm not saying you're a pedophile. I'm saying you got friends that are and you're protecting them. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if I knew you were low. Your moral character was low. Everybody knows Donald Trump's moral character was low. Everyone. Would it shock you to see a photograph of him in a compromising position? Would it? Because it wouldn't me. I used to call Donald Trump, when he was running against Hillary Clinton, I used to call him a mud monster. I always told my wife and my kids, he's a mud monster. He's going to beat her. Well, why? Because Hillary Clinton went up there wearing a white suit. All right? And when you slung mud at her, you could see everything that hit her. Because she was wearing white. Donald Trump was wearing mud. It didn't matter what you threw at him because he couldn't see it because everybody already knew. All right? The Epstein files, huge. And for you to say, are we still talking about Epstein? Oh, that's fake? That's not real? Dude. Then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? Why did he get sent to prison? If it's fake. If it's make-believe, it's not real. A hoax. A hoax? There's a bunch of little girls that were little girls, now grown women, that say, no, it ain't a hoax. Why isn't anything happening? How many indictments have we had? None. You've done nothing. MAGA, whatever you want to call it. I'm going through a list. What has he done? What has he done for you? What has he done for us? The big pharma corruption. What about all that? You were going to take care of that. Oh, what about COVID-19? What, is Fauci locked up? Is Fauci locked up? No, that's gone too. That's done. How about no new wars and America first? See, all this stuff's not done. How about you said we didn't have enough money for daycare to help people with daycare. Okay, I may agree, I may not agree, but here's the thing. You said we didn't have money for that because we have to take care of war. We showed the clip on our show. If you look, what was it, last week? It was the one before we did Dan Salinger, the Rabbi Trump, the idiot. All right, you said we have to spend our money on war. War. We can't help the American. But then you threw in, and no one caught it, Medicaid and Medicare. States can pick that up. We're too busy making war. We're too busy giving Israel weapons. Guys, do you realize we are the only nation in this world that supports Israel with money? And look this up. You can look it up on your Google, you AI, you can search it. Is there a treaty that states Israel and the United States are allies? Look it up. It's going to say no. You can ask about Qatar. You can ask about all these other countries, and it will say yes because it's under the United Nations. There's other documents that it's under, but we're not with Israel. It's not a document. It's not a treaty. They are not our true allies. And if you doubt that, go look up the attack on USS Liberty. I brought that up before too, but no one wants to research anything anymore. No one wants to understand. MAGA, you evangelical Christians, what about him dressing up like Jesus and saying, oh, he was too stupid to realize that was Jesus. He was a doctor. He was a doctor. Cool. You bought that? You believe that? How about him getting us into this Iran war that he promised he wouldn't on his campaign trail, and letting Israel talk us into it, to pressure us into it? What about that? Well, Marco Rubio told us that, but then they had to push that away. No, it's about nuclear weapons. It's about nuclear weapons. Well, let's talk about Gaddafi in Libya when he decided that he was done with nuclear weapons. What happened to him? He got sodomized with a bayonet. That's what happened to him. What reason would they have not? What reason do they have not to pursue nuclear weapons now? There's no reason not to. Look at what happened to Ukraine. Do you think Russia would have invaded Ukraine if they didn't give up their nuclear program? Hell no, they wouldn't have. Why don't we invade these other countries? Why don't we invade North Korea? Nuclear weapons. Why don't we fight? Who's our biggest enemy? China. As far as Trump had told us before, but we won't invade China. Why? They have nuclear weapons. If you have nuclear weapons, people leave you the fuck alone. If you don't, the United States will definitely fuck with you. On behalf of Israel. Not on behalf of the American people. And I'm not saying the people in charge in Iran are any good. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if Israel wants to be the big bad bully in the neighborhood, let Israel take care of their problem. We'll take care of ours. And right now we got all these problems that I just listed that I was promised was going to be taken care of. What about cutting federal spending? Well, hell no, we got to raise that up. We got to give Israel their check. We got to get them weapons. Well, that makes us money because they buy weapons off of us. How about our Doge checks? Anybody remember that? Oh, you guys are going to be getting some checks from me. Yeah, because we save so much money. Remember that whole Elon Musk thing? Then he got rid of Elon, and Elon said, hey, guess what? Trump's in the Epstein files. Well, he might have wanted to say he was in them too, asking, hey, when can I come? What about the Afghan exit? Remember that little thing called Abbey-gate that Biden's administration fucked up? Got 13 Marines killed. You holding anybody accountable for that, which you were going to? No one. No one's been held accountable. Your FBI sucks. I don't think Kash Patel could find his own ass with one hand. I don't think he can find it with two. They shut down the investigation on Charlie Kirk's assassination by telling people you can't investigate foreign actors. Well, I'm going to tell you what, that Charlie Kirk, what's his name, that supposedly killed him, I don't think he's guilty at all, and the case is falling apart. And what started this whole thing? The nuclear lies on Iran. Okay. You told me 8 months ago Iran had nuclear weapons 8 months ago. Then we did Operation Midnight Hammer. See, guys, I remembered. And I ain't even got Justin here reminding me. And you told me you totally eliminated their capabilities. Whoops. Israel come back. Hey, they got nuclear weapons. Really? Well, we got to go back in. Well, either you were lying to me then or you're lying to me now. You stepped on your dick, Trump. You stepped on your dick. You've done everything that you promised you wouldn't do and half-assed everything that you said you were going to do. And I want to support you. I want you to take care of the United States. I don't want you to worry about Israel. I don't think you should have went into Venezuela, a sovereign country, and kidnapped their president. Honestly, you talk about regime change. There was no regime change. You talk about regime change in Iran. There was no regime change. You just killed this guy's father, who was the head of it in Iran, and his whole family, and you pissed him off and made him more extreme. Now you're telling me that the solution, and we will know the war's over when the Strait of Hormuz was open? Wasn't that fucking open before you bombed them? I mean, you bombed them and took out nuclear facilities. They didn't close the strait. Man, who would have thought that if you killed their religious leader and which is their religious leader, the Ayatollah is in charge of their military too, which I just found out, so I feel like an idiot. But I just found out, who would have thought that you would have raised some problems by killing their religious and military leader? Who would have thought that? Huh. You keep on telling us how you got the best minds around you. But for some reason, you got to keep firing the people you got around you. Is that because they disagree with you? Or is that because you realize you had useful idiots? They would carry your water for you. Here's my thing, guys. I haven't left Trump. I didn't leave MAGA. They left me. I'm for the United States. I'm for the American people. I'm for what's good for America. Just like Israel is doing what's good for Israel. I'm not part of Israel. I'm not Israel first. I'm America first. And that's what you ran on. And you ain't coming through, buddy. You left us. You ran away from us. How about draining the swamp? How about getting rid of the deep state? Do you know what MAGA is now? MAGA is the deep state. You are the swamp. Can Trump redeem himself? I hope he does. Will I trust him? No. And you know what? I'll never trust another politician. I don't care about party lines anymore. I voted straight I voted straight Republican before. I'll never do that again. That's what happened to Mike. Mike didn't turn on Trump. Trump turned on Mike. And he's turned on all of you, MAGA. And I'm sorry, but if you're good with that, be good with it. I can't be. So that's all I got. I just wanted to get on here. I was supposed to do it last night, but I had stuff going on. But I just wanted to get, Justin said, Dad, you got to get on here and you got to put up a video. So I'm putting up a video. I just got off work. I'm tired, but since that was brought up tonight, I really wanted to address it. I'm sorry I didn't get to the chats. It's hard when you're running everything. Irish 137. Everything that you say on there, I pretty much agree with that. What I see. But hey, anyway, guys, most of you will probably won't see this until tomorrow. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Hey, If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like the video. It don't take much to press the like button. It's free. Subscribe. Share the video. If you got family and friends that ain't subscribed, just tell them to come on over here and subscribe. It really helps us out. We're going to try putting out more content. I'm going to get better at this. I can't bring up other screens and all that fancy stuff yet. Justin's going to teach me, but that may take a while. It took him a day to teach me how to just get this up and running. As you see, well, he's probably going to have to take it down. I had one started, but I didn't have a camera running or anything set up. So, guys, I appreciate you. If no one else loves you, you know I do. And we will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.